So with the final WTA 1000 event of the year in Beijing, first time in 4 years that we're coming back to this tournament, we've got some massive names playing because a lot of players are still trying to get qualified for the WTA finals in a couple weeks' time. But let's go see who's not playing in this event. So some big names not playing. Bagu, she's not playing. Bencic also not playing. Collins, Keys, Mukova's not playing. She's currently in the top 8 for the race to the final, so that's really tough to see that she's not there because her spot is up for grabs now. Pliskova, Stevens, and Svitolina all not playing in Beijing this week. Let's go to the top of the draw with the number 1 seed, Sabalenka, for the first time in a tournament as the world number 1, but she doesn't get a bye in the first round because, of course, performance buys are included in this Beijing tournament, so she has to play Kenin in the first round. That is an absolute nightmare. She lost to Kenin earlier in the season, so that's going to be really tough. Winner of that match will take a qualifier on in the second round. Then you got Yuan taking on Mertens. Winner of that will take on either Paolini or the number 15 seed, Haddad Maia, in the second round. Then you got Krejcikova, number 10 seed, taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on Pavlyuchenkova, who gets a performance bye after making the semifinals in Tokyo, so she won't have to play that first round. Then you got Trevisan taking on Maria. Winner of that will take on either Zhang or the number 5 seed, Rybakina, in the second round. That is a blockbuster first round match, but what a start to this section of the draw. Rybakina, Sabalenka, Krejcikova all in the same section, not to mention both Sabalenka, Rybakina playing against Zhang and Kenin. Nightmare first rounds, and then the performance bye comes back, and Pavlyuchenkova gets the benefit. So it's a really weird section of the draw, and a really tough section. Going to the next section of the draw, you got Pegula, the number 4 seed, gets a bye in the first round after making the semifinals last week in Tokyo. She'll take on the winner of Vekic or Blinkova, who are going at it in the first round. Then you got Tian taking on Noskova. Winner of that will take on either a qualifier or the 13 seed Ostapenko. Then you got the 12 seed Kvitova taking on Wong. Winner of that will take on either Parks or Samsonova in the second round. Then you got Kostruk versus Chocoyaretto. Winner of that will take on either a qualifier or the number 7 seed Jabeur in the second round. Of course, Ons Jabeur trying to qualify for the WTA finals. But an interesting section here. Pegula's been playing really well. She's been playing really well this week in Tokyo, especially making the semifinals. Possibly could make the final, even win the title by the time this comes out. Jabeur looking for a spot there, but that top half of the draw is really tough. Of course, this section of the draw will take on the Sabalenka Rybakina section in the semifinals. So we could be getting Sabalenka Pegula in the semis. We could be getting Sabalenka Jabeur in the semifinals. We could be getting Rybakina Pegula, Rybakina Jabeur in that semifinal lineup. Or if you want to go a little bit different, you could get Krejcikova taking on Kvitova, for example, if you want to go really wild. But that top section of the draw, that top half, is really stacked. Bottom half of the draw now, we've got the number 6 seed Sakkari. She gets a bye in the first round after having a good week in Tokyo. She awaits the winner of Fruhvirtova and Rus, who are going at it in the first round. Then you got Wong versus Zvonareva. Winner of that will take on either Sharif or the number 11 seed Kazatkina in the second round. Then you got the number 16 seed Kudermetova getting a bye in the first round, a performance bye after making it to the semifinals of Tokyo like the other 3 ladies already. She awaits the winner of Sharenko or Zhu, who are playing in the first round. Then you got Kostaya taking on Martic. Winner of that will take on either Alexandrova or the number 3 seed Gauff. Very tough round for Gauff in that first round. The first match since winning the US Open as well. So really tough start for Gauff. But interesting section, you know, Sakkari, Kudermetova playing well this week. Kudermetova just beat Swiatek, and Sakkari is on such a great run. Kazatkina also isn't someone to overlook either. And playing Alexandrova, Gauff in the first round, very tough. But man, it's going to be an interesting section. Sakkari's the player in form. It'd be great to see Sakkari Gauff potentially in a quarterfinal. Then the bottom section of the draw, you got the number 8 seed Vondrousova taking on Kalinina. Winner of that will take on either Saville or Siniakova in the second round. Then you got Buzkova taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on either another qualifier or the number 9 seed Garcia in the second round. Then you got the 14 seed Azarenka taking on Linette. Winner of that will take on either Brady or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Potapova taking on Gracheva. Winner of that will take on either Tormo or the number 2 seed Swiatek, who, by losing to Kudermetova in the quarterfinals of Tokyo, gave away her bye in the first round. So now she's got to play first round in a 1000 event for the first time for the entire season. So it's going to be really tough for Swiatek after some really weird performances lately. But again, interesting section. You know, Azarenka, obviously Swiatek, Garcia, Vondrousova. Some really tricky names there. Of course, this section of the draw will take on the Sakkari Gauff section. So we could be getting a rematch of Swiatek versus Gauff in the semis. That'd be great. Or maybe if we want to go with some more Asian swing form, you could be going Swiatek taking on Sakkari, which would be really interesting to see that one as well, seeing Sakkari's in such good form. Or we could get a rematch between Swiatek and Kudermetova potentially in the semifinals. Or if we don't trust that Swiatek's going to win, maybe Garcia Sakkari for the 3rd week in a row. We could be getting that. or maybe even Garcia versus Gauff if you want to go with something a little different. But man, really interesting section, especially now that Swiatek is not playing as well as she did. It's going to be really interesting to see how she can recover after a couple of weird weeks and a couple of strange matches in Tokyo. So there it is. That is the China Open, the first time in 4 years we're going back to Beijing. It's a stacked event, as it should be. It's a final 1,000 event of the year. We've got a couple of spots left up for grabs for the WTA finals as well, and there's a lot of players there that are trying to get those final 4 spots. Let me know down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win this event? I mean, Pegula's look great. Sakkari's unstoppable. Swiatek's looking a little shaky. Sabalenka, though, is really good in Asia, or at least she was 4 years ago, so she might be the favorite to win this whole event. But man, what a crazy tournament. Beijing, it's going to throw up a lot of upsets, I reckon.